Hello everyone and welcome to Otter Gaming. This is Rich, and today's video is going to be a little different. So I recorded this video, and for some reason none of the audio was picked up, either from my microphone, and then I had trouble with video audio from the game throughout the recording. So I didn't realize this until the end. So this is going to be different. Um, you're gonna see the game, and I'm going to be kind of going over it with you. So this is gonna be weird, but let's see here. What do I want to say? I don't know why, but I had a lot of trouble with this temple, as you'll see. Um, thing I will say first off is bring extra stuff to make cold resistant meals or potions. I did not do this because I thought I'd be able to figure this temple out. Um, Obviously, I didn't in time, and I also make a bunch of mistakes cooking, thinking I will get a cold resisting meal, and I get nothing. I just get hearts. So, but I do like the design of this temple. Um, I said it during the when recording the video. Um, the art direction in the game and in this temple seem to lead heavily on like ancient Central and South America, kind of like Incas and Aztecs and stuff like that, which is really cool. So, um, as in most of my games, you'll notice a lot of hitting the wrong button. And I don't know if you guys know this yet, but a cool thing you can do with Bird Boy, I forget his name, is you can actually set him up to do the gusts before you even leave the ground. You just have to be next to him. Yeah, for some reason I thought that was a normal spear. Nope, it's a fire breathing dragon on the end of a stick. Fire weapons and bomb weapons are very useful in this temple. Mainly not really against these guys. I mean, it does fire does additional damage like it always does, but helps keep you warm. A torch with a lit torch will keep you warm, as you'll see me use later in the video. I was having some fun with the fire stick. Um, Stamina wise, I think the bar plus one stamina upgrade is fine. really, I mean, I run out of it just because I forget to let up when running. But besides that, works. I have plenty of stamina. Uh, I don't know. For some reason, I'm completely blanking on the bird's name, but he does kind of help. He'll shoot at bad guys for you. Takes him a while to start shooting, and he will miss. Um, Reminder, well, not reminder really, but the cold damage up on the ship takes half a heart every time it officially damages you. Just so you guys know. But if you avoid the additional fire damage from the fire weapons, I think 5 hearts is more than enough to do this level or this temple. I do like that they brought temple back instead of like the divine beasts and everything in Breath of the Wild. Great idea. My downside is they were too quick. This one obviously it took me a lot longer because for some reason I just couldn't figure things out. But this for a first temple, I don't know if it's supposed to be the first temple or not. Um, I think it was a good pace. Looking back on this, I mean, this scene you wouldn't be able to do it, or this part of the temple because you dropped into water and everything. But um, a lit torch for the icebergs probably way better. You get to conserve your weapons and keep you warm at the same time. So yeah, I threw that in there thinking it would do something. Then uh, I'm embarrassed that it took me this long to figure it out. But all you have to do is go through the wall, just like everything else. Yeah, so you can't really tell now, but for some reason, since we started this video now, we lost all our game audio to the original recording. So if you don't hear anything, that's why. I'm sorry. So this is gonna be me. You don't get to hear any of the beautiful music this game has. This is when I got kind of lucky. I forgot that I completely forgot until I was looking for was getting the newer shield that I had a flame emitting shield, and then it took me a second to make sure or get it to work. All right, so this is mistake I made, and I apologize for it. It's just a waste of time. But Yeah, for some reason I thought there was something on the back end that would help us out. It really didn't. I didn't really learn anything. Except that you could go back there without dying, falling to your death. And then you can climb up these walls. I want to say some stuff, but that's going to happen later in the video, but I don't want to ruin it. Okay, I don't know why I thought this, but as you can see, I have not, by this point, I have not found any of the switches that we're looking for. So for some reason, I thought the things were turned on, and that's why the air was coming out, but no. Uh, with when they're up, the thing's not turned on, so it's not trying to open, which makes more sense when you actually think about it. But I go back here, and I look through these bars. So when you can grab this, I really don't know what it's supposed to do. I try connecting it to the bars in front of me. You can't connect it to those. I thought you had to connect it to that tube, but no. And then I noticed that you come up through the floor right there. I thought maybe you went down. So that tube right there is the switch. For some reason, I thought it was part of the barrel. So you're gonna see me go up and actually try to go through the barrel into this room. It does not work out for one. Yeah, here's me trying to attach it, but it just doesn't do anything. So to be honest, I have no idea what this plate is for. Sorry if you can hear me breathing. Yep, here I am trying to get into the tube or into the barrel. But the odd thing is, so the cannons on the side of the ship will aim when they sense you. That one doesn't. I don't know if it was a glitch or what, but every time I was up there, nothing. Here's me trying to see if I have anything that will help me with the cold. And I don't. So, like the pepper seafood right there, I made that with ingredients that you would think would make cold resistance. They don't. I don't know what happened. And here's some of my failed cooking. And for some reason, I keep hitting the wrong buttons. And I can't get my pot out. I know that's a weird thing to say, but I can't get the damn pot out to cook. Oh, and I also miss putting the food in the pot a couple times. So feel free to laugh. I hope it entertains you. If it makes you guys smile, I'm all for it. Oh, so yeah, my first short I did with my editing software that I finally found that works with my computer, and I'm capable of understanding most of it and still trying to figure things out. But it's I count it as a success. It's up there with, I think it's actually my most viewed video within 24 hours, and I want to thank you guys for it. Also, at the time of recording this video, we have officially hit 60 subscribers. Again, I want to thank you all for helping me out. When I first started, I got to like, I want to say like 15 subs really quick because friends and family that I told that I was starting this, and then got a few more with the first couple of videos, and then I was stagnant at like 23, I think, for the longest time for like a year. Hey, a successful cook. And then using some resources that people told me about, um, some Facebook groups, were able to meet other streamers that want to help people starting out and stuff like that. I have found a good editing software that, like I said, works with me, and I'm getting to learn and able to make things. Um, Learned some tricks and some tips that helped out, and they're just really nice people. And thanks to them and being able to make these videos, I have gotten it up to 60. So that was my goal at the end of the month when I'm recording this, but it's not that far into the month. I'm just gonna keep that as my goal because you never know what's gonna happen. Um, but we'll see how things go. Hopefully, we'll get more and more subscribers. Here, I'm thinking of, I'm actually thinking about attacking the ice, but then I realized it's a stupid idea. But I was able to get down here, so and there is, I believe, the first switch that I actually find that I can activate. And of course, he stops us mid battle. You'd think the game would make it so I could finish the fight, but no. So yeah, on our way. I mean, we got to get to a way. If I'm understanding YouTube correctly, we got to get up to like 2,000 subscribers, and then enough. What's it called? Watch hours to really get anything going. But we'll see. I just have to keep pushing and keep working. See if we can get this to the point where maybe I can do this full time. But that's a long ways away. So enough about that. Back to the game. So I can't. I played a little bit of Skyward Sword, not a whole lot. It has some of the same dynamics as stuff in the air and the ground. Whereas this one we have air, ground, and below ground, subground, which is a great idea. Great way to build on something that you found that people liked in a previous game. But I don't know if because I didn't play it originally. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get it for the Switch one of these days when I have just some money to spend. I'm a Zelda fan. Um, I don't know if temples or islands have a bunch of drops like this game does. Um, Playing through the little bit of the game that I have been so far, you can fall in so many places. Thankfully, in some places, what is it? There's a spot where I was having trouble with the shield again. What's the word? I think some places it just takes a heart and puts you back, but other places you fall to your death, which I've done in a couple of these videos probably. Here we gotta do Mission Impossible. Avoid the lasers. Now, what will the lasers do? I have no idea. And I thought for a second that I was gonna have trouble because my shield just passes right through it. Nothing happens. And then I jump. So one time I thought in a shrine. I think it's the shrine that unfortunately I did without the recording. The recording didn't work right, so I ended up not being able to show you guys that the. I thought there were laser beams, like in most other games, that will hurt you. No, that's not how it is. It was. It just did something if you hit it. Now, see, you don't have to climb up there. I found out doing this temple, so I could. You can go next to him. Yeah, get close to him since you're not when you're not gliding already, and you can have him set up behind you, and then you just jump, and he can do. Tell him to do the gust, and he'll do it while you're still on the ground, and then you jump and activate your glider, and then bam. Oh, here's another cool thing that I didn't realize until after later in the game or the temple. But the sword he dropped right there, because I didn't look at it, I didn't read Ruby Broadsword. I thought it was just a cool name for a weapon, but it's one of their fused weapons. It's a ruby fused to a broadsword. So that's what happens when if you fuse a ruby to a broadsword or a weapon, you get a fire weapon. I did not know that because it went process in my mind to fuse a ruby or a sapphire or a diamond, something that you can get good money for to a weapon. Now that weapon I actually really liked. So hope everyone, well, since I don't know where all my subscribers are from, um, I hope everyone's having a good time of the year. It's summer in the states where I'm at. Uh, this summer for the north half of the world, but if you're watching this from the southern half of the world, I hope your winter's going good. If it is your winter, I don't know if it's your fall winter yet, but so yeah, for some reason, I would think you could just push this, but you can't push it with Link. You can push it with the arm though, and you would think like normal Zelda games, you push it and then it either locks the door and then you can go through it, or it's a timer. Like the more you push it uh, to a certain point, the longer chance you get to get through the door. No, that's not how this works. as you'll soon find out as I blow myself up. Another good laugh point. Now, one thing I didn't think of until now, actually, and it's probably exactly what they meant you to do is I didn't know at this time that you could have him come behind you or go up to him, talk to him, and have him do the gust. You could probably have him gust, and it might actually push those. And there's my death. So yeah, like most of my Zelda videos, both Breath of the Wild and this one, when I die, it's a stupid death. It's a stupid way of dying, but I hope it's entertaining. Just like I wouldn't be surprised if what is it? Oh, what is it? Well, I lost my train of thought. In Breath of the Wild videos, I fight Thunderblight again, and I got whooped badly. There's actually my only short that I have at the moment is actually me getting whooped by him multiple times, and it's not even all the deaths that I had before I beat him, and I don't know why. He just gives me so much trouble. But you guys liked the short, so I'm hoping that you found it hilarious. Um, Pointed out to me, and I don't know why I didn't think of this. Lightning potions, potions that give you lightning resistance. It might not. What's the word? It might not lessen the hit, the damage of the hit, but it will keep you from dropping your weapons. But when I did finally beat him, I didn't get hit by him when he actually had his weapon charged with lightning. This is when I realized you have to have it. You can just go up and talk to him. For some reason, I thought you had to get him into a certain position, or you get Link or him into a certain position. You can do it, but you just have to go up and talk to him. And I think this is when I lose my last cold resistant because I ran out of meals. So right now I'm actually looking for number three, not realizing it's right there in the middle of the ship. Don't know why. Oh, oh, I'm not out yet. Oh, yep. So here's another fail. So two of the peppers plus fish do not equal heat resistance. Just pepper seafood. So the rest of the temple, I go cold. But thankfully, I do not freeze to death. I get close. Yeah, I was thinking maybe going up through the thing, through the roof, and going from there. But then I remembered I've been to that side. There's nothing I can do. So here I'm hoping what's his face will kill this guy. And all this time, I'm walking by that gate, thinking I need an actual, what is it? The actual handle. But nope, you can use anything. So, if very first thing I would do, run over there, knock out. I don't even think you have to knock any of the icicles down. So I think they're on the ground already. Bam! There you go. There's your fusion item. Fuse it. You can open it. Turn on the switch. And here I am, just trying to figure stuff out. I don't know if I got that chest. Here I'm just looking up to try to figure something out. Like I said, not my best performance in a temple. I don't know why Link tried to dive there. It's, and then I don't know how I missed it, but there's a ruby just sitting there. I could not figure out why. The map shows that there's a hallway there, but it doesn't. There's no hallway there. So I go out here to look, get some fresh air. I'm not proud of this either. I tried to blow up the wall. Oh yeah, if you didn't know, that's a cheap way of making fire arrows. Normal arrow and torch. That's all you need. Get the ruby. More of my misuse of buttons. Oh, for a second, I thought it was going to drop down again. I'm like, oh, I went that way already. Oh, that's where I dropped back down. My little dragon backpack. I'm like, hey, I can. Yeah, I was jumped off with no stamina. I don't know why, but for some reason I thought you had to use fire on these. You don't. In fact, don't use fire. It's just a waste. Just hit it. But you're going to get hurt probably from the tips of the icicles. So I tried to get this chest. I did not. Thinking about it now, if you really wanted it, I would fuse the icicles together and try to get them to fuse to the chest, to bring the chest to you. I tried gliding in. Link acts like he, excuse me, he acts like he wants to get in it, but I can't. I can't get through it. Again, I can't hit the right button to save my life. So here, I think I am just gonna go through it, and here, like he wants to, but he can't. So then I think it's a speed issue. If I use the gust, he'll get me through. Then bam, nope. Glitch again, and I'm done with it. And for some reason, I didn't know this. You can't move while when you have this power turned on. Doesn't make sense. See, I don't know if that was my arrow or his arrow because it doesn't look like I was aiming at the right at his eye. It looks like I was aiming at the top of his shield when I fired. So sorry, I'm yawning. It's been a long day. I don't really agree with the switches having to be used by the power of the arm. I think you should be able to do it, just walk up and fling them. But if you want to do it from a distance, then yeah, use the arm. Now, for some reason, I thought you had to like slide it to make it work, but obviously that doesn't work. And then I also thought you could do it with the other side then. Again, does not work. You can't even grab the top one for some reason. And I'm thinking. Again, I find it hilarious now that it took me this long to think of a solution. I think it's cool that Link's arm is green, since Link traditionally wears green attire. Oh, no. You can use icicles. So for some reason, I tried to get it attached to the inside of the cog right there, but every time I did it, it attached to the end, and it just goes around the thing. It doesn't hit. It kind of defeats the purpose. Couldn't get the bastard to go where I wanted it to go. So then I'm like, oh, I can just attach it to that. This is not moving. It won't change it, but I don't know. I just couldn't do it, so I just went and grabbed another piece to attach. And voila. Bam, 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 bam. Another one bestest. The strange thing is, I do probably the more complicated ones first, and then I do the two easiest switches last. Tulin. Tulin. That's his name. So now I'm thinking, how do I get to that one with the missing handle? Because I haven't found any handles. And then when does it come to me? Yeah, I'm just trying to find a spot where I can go wall swimming. I would not be surprised if there's a better way of getting out of this room, but I just couldn't think of it. And here's when I finally figure out I can use the ice as a lever. Voila. So that one out of all of them, easiest. And this one coming up, second easiest. So to be honest, the first time I was trying it, I didn't think I'd get it, but I don't know if I actually hit the button to fuse it because I saw the green stuff between the two doors, or if they were automatically already fused and you just have to wiggle them to actually get it. And here's the final switch. Now we get to go see what we unleash. Does anyone put their hands down like that when they're cold? I personally wrap my body up. What will we unleash? Alright, design of this boss I like. An ice centipede with wings. I love how I try to shoot an arrow at its head. Here it comes. Now, you can shoot arrows. Um, you gotta be careful of the ice, obviously, which I'm not doing. Don't land on him or you will get hurt. But the quickest way is just drop through. You'll break both ice barriers. Bam. Then it teleports in the giant water thing. I got really lucky here. I don't know why I didn't count me getting hit with his spikes, but I should have. Now, I was too far to do it here, and a couple other times I was too far. But if you're close when he's coming back down vertically like that, you can hit those ice things with arrows. Normal arrows do just about as much damage to ice as when you're jumping on it, when you're trying to get through it, just with Link. No dropping from a height or anything like that. So I would suggest maybe ice arrows or bomb arrows in the future. Or not in the future because you don't fight the boss again. Well, at least I don't think you fight the boss again. But another playthrough, or if you haven't done this fight yet. Like I said, fire weaponry will help. See, I got the first barrier done. Missed my chance there. Yeah, the wind having your parasol out pushes you up pretty high. I like the pincers. I just wish he actually used them for an attack of some sort. He never does. So not only can he make it cold, he can make it windy. Even more windy. I wonder if there's a term for that. Like a tornado within a hurricane? A blizzard hurricane? A tornado forming in the eye of another storm. I wonder if that's possible. So now we just have to do the same thing, but with tornadoes in our way. There I got through the whole thing. Yeah, so that's what happens when the tornadoes hit you. You get knocked out of the air, or off your glider, and you lose a chunk of health. that sucked. Then his spikes show back, instantly grow back. Use Bird Boy's gust to your advantage. I did not do that. I got lucky there. And that's it. That is his fight. And that reminds me of the Blight from Breath of the Wild, which makes sense considering who made him or summoned him. And the golden dust of summer will set you free. Or maybe spring. Spring and summer. So we're getting close to where I realized that the audio was not working and actually got it working or got it turned on. So um, I will soon switch it over. It might be a little louder than normal. But still being up in the cold air is cold, even if you got rid of the blizzard. Kids gotta touch something. Kids always gotta catch something. Touch something. Nice mask. Ah, the ancestors. I wonder what he looks like without the mask, though. Need that parrot head movement, copying what he says. Flashback. Story time with Grandpa Bird. Oh, there's a bunch of them there. You can see a Zora Trident. Demon King. I like how the Demon King looks. Ganondorf. Gerudo Sword. There's the bird. And then there's Goron with his thing. And I don't know who the other one is. The first king? Alright, so my original audio, should hopefully be starting soon. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't realize my mic was off. All right. Well, I know what we're gonna do. I'm sorry, guys. For some reason, the audio is not capturing again. So we'll figure this out. Only a kid would be this excited for this type of thing. Cool design process. And for a second, I thought I was gonna become a manacle and attached to him. Well, that's not fair. He gets powers, but I don't. Oh, he's gonna upgrade my arm through the power of the friendship handshake. Oh, that's kind of cool. That's really cool, actually. Are we booted off the airship? Or do we stay on and I have to figure out how to keep from freezing? So what I'm going to try to do, since I didn't realize my mic was off, is we're going to try to, because I actually have an editing software that works with my computer, see if I can figure out a way to do another voiceover to fix this. And I apologize. Also apologize that the video is going to be a little bit longer than the 45 minutes I'm shooting for. I didn't expect the temple to take that long, but we got the temple done, so yay. And then again, I also apologize that the video capture is not capturing the audio again. Oh, look, it's so pretty now. The spring has cometh. And skipped right to summer. Oh, excuse me. Why is everyone taller than me? Except for the kid. Oh, for a second I thought I was going to knight him with a bow. That'd be different. So, for if you guys didn't know, so you notice how there's that long piece that kind of looks like a spear tip on the bow. I actually found out recently that is for precision shooting for like the Olympics and stuff. It's a counterweight for when they're aiming and stuff like that. It keeps the bow more level so they can aim better. Reincarnations. Been that way in almost all the Zelda games. Success. Alright, and that is where we're going to end this video. So, I hope you guys liked it. Um, what else? Uh, check out links for the promoter that I'm working with. His name is Matthew. They'll be in the description. Um, check out my other videos. I got Breath of the Wild playthrough. I got a Ghostwire Tokyo playthrough. I just need to finish the Breath of the Wild one too. But there's plenty of videos that keep you busy until like, oh, you can do it. And then I got a few just short videos of me playing other games. So hopefully you enjoy them. Hit like, please use the comments. Tell me what I'm doing right. Tell me what I can do to improve. And if you're not, please subscribe. And that is it. This is Cold Otter. This is Rich with Cold Otter Gaming signing out.